Ciao Juventini, Alberto here, and I got all the news surfacing around Juventus. We're going to talk about targets for Juventus. One target that's shared between them and Napoli and what his current contract status is. Then we're going to take a look at the names coming up for January as potential moves for Juve. I'm going to give my thoughts on each of those players on that list and what happens until then. Well, Fabrizio Ravanelli weighs in on a way that Juve can make up for the lack in quality, and I have an idea of my own that I'm going to share with you, and I want to get your thoughts on it. I put it out on a YouTube short yesterday, but I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on it today. And then we've got the Derby della Mola and a race to fitness for Vlahovic and Milik. We'll take a look at their statuses today. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. We're going to kick things off with Juve and Napoli's shared target, a situation they're both monitoring, and that is in regards to Zaccagni. His contract status and extension is all of a sudden looking a little gray according to Nico Schira. He may not be renewing with Lazio. His contract ends in 2025. Juventus and Napoli are both monitoring that situation. Now for something a lot closer, a lot sooner, January's Mercado. January's Mercado has three names that are linked with Juventus as actual potential moves, okay? But I'm going to go through them and give them my thoughts right now. Sudakov from Shakhtar is potentially an option for Juventus. I'm not buying into this one just yet. His name literally just crept up towards the end of last week, and I'm still waiting for somebody more credible to start bringing up the serious interest between Juventus and the player, and so far I haven't seen that, so I'm going to pump the brakes on that one. As far as Kefren Turam, he continues to be mentioned. Again, we have tackled this one a lot and on live shows and podcasts. Kefren Turam, I can't see moving in January. Not only that, there's going to be a serious race for his signature, and the funds might take us out of play for Kefren Turam, okay? Although I would love to see him added on at Juventus. And Berardi is a serious chance, I believe, for that move to go down this winter mercado, okay? And that one, I do believe there's a chance. Those are the main ones coming up as viable options for Juventus in January, okay? The Kefren Turam one can't see as a viable option in January. Sudakov, still an unknown, but Berardi, I think there's a chance. Now, as far as my frustrations in trying to wait for changes to the roster or talent to be brought in, we need to sort out the now, okay? We need to figure out what we could do now to get this team rolling and strengthening. And all of a sudden, it's starting to feel like we're starting to regress towards last year's play. What can we do to help these guys out? We have to figure that out before talking about more talent coming in or more players coming in. Fabrizio Ravanelli says that Juve is in a difficult period right now. He says they have good players, but from a technical standpoint, they're behind the likes of Napoli, Milan, and Inter. But with passion and character, they can overcome the lack of quality, okay? Passion and character, I would agree with you there, Ravanelli. But I also put this out in a YouTube short yesterday, and I'm going to bring it back today and elaborate further. Scrap the regista role, okay? Against Atalanta, it pointed out exactly one of the main problems for me, and that's when you rule out the regista for this Juventus and the Metsalas get too far forward, we struggle. And against Atalanta, I got sick and tired of watching Danilo, Bremer, or Gatti try to dictate play with the ball at their feet. It's not the guys you want on the ball, okay? And then furthermore, McKennie was stuck. Okay, they shut down our flanks completely and there was no help. We will live and die by what happens in the middle of the park. If you look to our good games and what was going well, the midfield was able to operate. It all goes there. Our offense will then be happy. Our flanks will be able to play properly, and it helps the defense out tremendously. It all comes down to what happens in the middle of the park. Get the two-man pivot going. We've also rotated into a two-man pivot periodically, and it's absolutely fine. Furthermore, you've got Fagioli behind the forwards. Not only that, Miretti can play there. Yildiz could even get minutes there, okay? And use him centrally. Use that position centrally. Stop moving it from one side, either left or right. Move him centrally. So when it comes to the defensive aspect, he just has to drop straight down. And again, with splitting up as a two-man pivot, you will get more options for your wing backs, and they won't be able to get shut down so easy, and it'll free up your regista and use a two-man pivot. It'll make it much more complicated for teams to try and pin us back. This is my thoughts. Try this. Just try this. So many teams that utilize a 3-4-1-2 or 3-5-2, however you want to call it, use this midfield triangle. Okay? Let's just attempt it. Can we just attempt it? This is my thoughts anyways, but you guys let me know what you think, because we can't sit around here and keep talking about players coming in. We have to figure out what we're going to do with the guys now. This is my idea. I want to know your thoughts on it in the comment section. Last not least, we got the Derby della Mola coming up this weekend, and we are in a race for fitness for Dusan Vlahovic, okay? He had gym work for him today. It is looking like it's going to be day to day, and nobody really knows just yet. There is the potential he could be on the bench for that game. Milik will be available for the Derby della Mola despite having personal training session today, okay? But he will be in the lineup. So Dusan Vlahovic, we got to wait and see, everybody. But again, that wraps up your news break to today. I want to know what you think about everything I hit you with today, especially scrapping the regista role, all right? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what your thoughts, and I'll be back tomorrow with another update video. Till then, as always, fino alla fine, forza Juve, ciao tutti.